All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about cases once again. And I know we've been talking about cases a lot lately, not only because I love them, not only because I'm heavily invested in them, but because they have been the biggest story in the CS2 investing world over the past, week or maybe 2 weeks, something like that. Cases have been going very, very crazy. Cases have been doing very well. It's actually interesting right now because there's some cases going up, some cases staying a little flat, some cases going a little bit down. So they're all over the place, but there's a lot of volatility, a lot of movement, a lot of interesting things happening with cases right now. And even over the past couple of days, things changed once again as certain cases, like the Gamma 2 case right here, decided to go even crazier out of nowhere. So we definitely need to talk about what the heck is going on. Today's video is sponsored by Skinland, and they're offering you a $10 bonus right now if you go over and sell your skins to them. All you have to do is click on the skins that you're looking to get rid of and then select one of their many convenient payout options, and that's it. But it gets even better because they're also offering you the ability to get some of your money instantly cashed out. No more waiting for that annoying 7-day trade hold. You can get some of your money right away. Skinland is now the official partner of Team Vitality, one of the biggest CS2 teams in the world. The best work with the best, and even Team Vitality chooses Skinland. Also, if you're looking to change up your inventory and buy some skins, due to the recent market crashes, prices are way, way, way down. So if there is a knife, a glove, an expensive skin that you've been wanting for a long time, you might want to go check out Skinland with that first link in the description below right now. So this is the Gamma 2 case, a case that I think has always been a pretty solid investment. It's been, one of these cases that's in like the mid tier, below the $10 price range, but above the $1 to $2 price range that some of the cheaper rare cases are in. And it's been doing, pretty decently, whatever. We can go to the lifetime graph, and obviously, this is a very, very nice looking graph. This is an item that has just kind of consistently made you money over time. It's what a lot of rare cases look like, and this is why I think rare cases are such good investments. The supply is small. These cases are only getting rarer. They're only getting older. They're only getting, less and less in terms of quantities, and they just go up. The prices go up. They just do. But again, as of late, the Gamma 2 case decided to get even crazier. At the beginning of the week, this is, 7-8 days ago, the Gamma 2 case was $4.79 on Steam, and then randomly on December 2nd, it decided to spike up to $9. This thing pretty much doubled in, what is that, 4, 5, 6 days? Now it did kind of crash back down to $6.13, but now it's back up to $7.43. So even going from below $5 up to $7.43 is still insane. Now, again, a lot of people were asking me and wondering why, why did this Gamma 2 case or any of these cases decide to start going insane out of nowhere? And that's the thing, is don't waste your brain power too much trying to figure out or trying to explain the things that happen in markets, because things that happen in markets don't always make sense. There's not always a reason. If you want, the stock market or crypto or all these CS items or whatever, crypto will sometimes randomly pump up, will randomly pump down. Sometimes there's a news event, sometimes there's not. This is just kind of how these markets work, especially the more and more volatile ones. You have stocks that, usually it's some kind of news or some kind of insiders or whatever, but CS, the volatility is higher, the quantities are lower, it takes much less money. It could just be one certain person trying to invest, $10,000 in some of these cases, or trying to buy up a ton of cases, or somebody doing a big case unboxing or whatever. I don't know. And there have been a lot of big case unboxing videos lately. We kind of went through the boom where all content was focused on gold trade ups and stuff, but now people are getting back to cases once again. So again, do I know exactly why these cases decided to start going insane? No, but again, I know that a lot of the fundamentals push case prices up over time, and obviously this gold trade up update was something that was overall good for cases like the Gamma 2 case. The Gamma 2 case has desirable golds inside of it, meaning a lot of people are going to be doing these trade ups, meaning people are eating through the coverts, people are eating through the pinks and the purples and the blues, and that's pushing up the prices, that's pushing up the unboxing ROI, and that's incentivizing people to actually unbox more of these. And this is a fun case to open, it's a fun case to do the trade ups for. You can actually open these cases, take all the items you get, trade up all the way up to gold. If you opened a ton of Gamma 2 cases, you could eventually guarantee yourself you're going to get a bunch of golds, and also in that period destroy a bunch of skins, make the skin prices go up, make the case prices go up, and like I said, at the same time, that's going to be, you're going to be eating into the supply that already is not super high and is only beginning lower and lower and lower. We're simply opening more of these cases than are being dropped. And this case, like I said, it's only getting older. It's only getting more rare. It's only going to be getting more expensive. So there's so much that naturally pushes this stuff up. And then obviously the market had kind of crashed in October with the retake update and stuff like that. So things went down, and then there was a lot of reason to start pushing things up. We have also seen the player base make a nice little rebound. October October, we got a plus 2.41% gain in terms of the average players. November, we saw a plus 3. We're starting to cool off a little bit so far into December, but still, we're in the winter of 2025. We're up, a pretty decent amount from where we were in July, August, September. So there's more people playing the game right now, and as more people are playing the game, obviously, that is going to push these prices up a little bit. More people playing the game means more people buying skins, means more expensive skins, means the case prices will go up. More people are going to be opening cases, all of that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of different things going on here that is pushing this stuff up. Also, we have the fact that, again, people need to keep this in mind, that we haven't had any new cases recently. We had the gallery case removed from the armory, and it was not replaced by anything, not by a case. We also had the fracture case removed from the active duty, and it was replaced by the Genesis terminal. And I haven't heard anybody talk about the Genesis terminal or any of those skins or anything like that in the past couple of weeks, if not even longer than that. So we had two kind of cases removed from very, very big dropping methods, and they weren't replaced by anything desirable at all. So all of a sudden, that is going to mean more people are going to be opening up all the other stuff out there now. So yeah, it's just been crazy. We did see the Gamma 2 just start going insane, but we saw some other cases doing decently as well. Here's the Spectrum 2 case graph. This thing went from about $4 a week ago now up to $4.92. That's a nice little pump there for Spectrum 2. Again, another case that's definitely benefited from this retake update. We have the Chroma 2 case. This thing a week ago. Again, this is a week. This is 7 or 8 days. $5 now up to $7. Absolutely insane there. We've seen some even the more expensive cases going insane as well. We have the Operation Breakout a week ago. This thing was less than $11. Now up to almost $13. We have Operation Riptide. This has been one of the crazier ones over the past month. This thing a week ago was $14.88. Now up to $23.30. That is a massive, massive, massive pump. And then the glove case. This is just the case in the CS2 item that just never seems to stop going up. This thing, every time you look, the glove case is more expensive than before. No matter how many times people say the glove case is overvalued, the glove case is a bad investment from here, the glove case can't go up any further, the glove case is done, finished, overpriced, whatever. The glove case just never stops. $26 a week ago, now up to $35, and actually peaked up here around $39. Absolutely insane. So right now we are seeing the cheaper cases starting to come up a little bit, I think, but they've been pretty stagnant. But we can pull up stuff like recoil, fracture, snake bite, clutch, gallery even. It looks like this stuff has started to move a little bit. We're not on these lows. The recoil case was down to about 34 cents, now up to 39 here. We have the fracture case. I think it's a little bit more expensive than it was at the lows. Yeah, the fracture case was about 57 cents at the lows, now up to 64. So some of these cheaper cases are starting to go up, but they have not seen the massive, drastic movements that some of these mid to high tier cases have. And actually, right now, obviously, I think if you're holding mid to high tier cases, which I am holding a decent amount of a lot of those, obviously, I wish I owned more, Chroma cases or Gamma cases or Spectrum cases or whatever, but I have some here and there of those. I was never a big investor of those mid-tier cases. I was going for, the expensive ones and the cheap ones mostly. I think cheap ones are a very, very big opportunity. But if you're holding those mid to high tier cases, they're exploding right now. They're going crazy. I don't think it's necessarily the best time to be buying. I don't think they're a steal of a deal. I don't think they're a screaming buy or anything like that. I think they're a hold. I'm not selling my mid to high tier cases, but I'm not going out there and buying Gamma 2 cases right now, after they just doubled in the last week or whatever. I'm happy. I'm making gains on paper, but what I do think is interesting is as cases like Chroma and Gamma and Spectrum and Breakout and Riptide and Glove and whatever, as those start to get more and more expensive, I know that these cheap cases start to get more and more and more attractive. Again, people want to open cases. It's already expensive. You're already paying $2.50 for a key, whatever. Hey, ROIs are going up, so that's better. Everyone's going to be getting a little bit more money back, which is also going to mean people have more money to open more cases, which is also another very good thing for case investing and destroying the quantity and supply of cases and all that stuff. But at the same time, people want to open cases. People want to open a ton of cases. People want to get the cool items. And as some of these cases get more and more expensive, people are going to be priced out or incentivized less to open up some of these more and more expensive cases, which I think overall will be good news for some of these cheaper cases. So some of these cheaper cases, not only have we not seen them exploding in price, none of these cheap cases have doubled in price in the past week, like the Gamma 2 case. So not only are these cheaper cases already cheaper, and maybe that just makes them already a better opportunity than some of these mid and high tier cases, but they have not seen that explosive growth yet. So maybe they're due do to catch up to some of the other cases a little bit. But also, like I said, as some of these other cases get more expensive, these cheaper price point cases become more and more and more attractive. So I think Recoil right now at like 38 cents looks amazing. I think Fracture, at 63 cents looks amazing. I think Snakebite under $1, it's 81 cents right now, is a very, very good pickup. Clutch, it's now broken above $1. Clutch is starting to run a little bit. Again, you can see some of these cheaper cases, they are starting to run a little bit. They're starting to make runs. Still, this thing was bottomed at 89 cents, now up to $1.07. This is not doubling in a week like Gamma 2, but it is starting to make a run. We are starting to see an increase. It's now above $1. It was below $1 before. I think Gallery, still a very, very good pickup right now. I think Fever is a great pickup right now. I think Prisma 2, below $2 is something that I still really, really like. This thing was $1.62 at the beginning of the week. It's $1.70 now, so we haven't seen a ton of growth there. So again, mid and high tier cases continue to go absolutely insane. They can continue to just go crazy, and that's awesome. That's great if you've been holding those. I have been holding some. Congratulations. You're making money on paper. You're doing good. You're cooking, whatever. But I think the bigger opportunity right now, the spotlight is on these mid and high tier cases doubling in price, going insane. People are like, oh, what the heck's going on? Blah, 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 whatever. You don't want to always be investing on the stuff that the spotlight's on. What you want to do is invest in the stuff where the spotlight's going to be next, invest where the spotlight isn't, where prices are cheaper and maybe even undervalued or underrated. And right now, to me, that might be these cheaper rare cases or cheap, active duty cases that might be removed soon. So yes, it's awesome that some cases are exploding, going crazy right now, but the cases that aren't, that could be where the opportunity lies. That could be where we might be able to make some money. So, earlier in the week, I bought some Recoil cases. I'm going to be buying some Fracture, some Snakebite, stuff like that. I'm going to be loading up. I love cheaper cases under $1. And right now, I think it's as great of a time as ever to be buying some of those up. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.